All right, everybody. Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. The chat is finally over, the podcast, and it was a great podcast. Can everybody hear me okay? I am trying to get my settings shifted over. Boy, on this larger screen, my hair is all over the place, so I'm going to put on a hat. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Feel a little bit more relaxed. Now I had to be professional. Got my Cosmo Canyon hat on, everybody. Woo! How are we? How are we? You just came from the Resident Arcs podcast. Highwind, you're here. Awesome. Mix, you're here as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh. Several of you have just followed and subscribed on YouTube. Hey, thank you, Joel Torres. Thank you, XOO7797X. Thank you, Couch Potato, for the follow. Right on, right on. Thank you, Highwind, for subbing with Prime. Gosh, you rock. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tubbs Jerry. Thank you, Naven. Thank you, David Galano. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you guys. You are incredible, incredible. Finally get to catch one of these streams. Well, you're in for it tonight. Tonight is the first of the Final Fantasy XVI lecture stream. Let me introduce myself if you are new to the stream or you've hopped in for the first time. My name is Wade, and I am ProfNoctis. I am a professor at the University of Alabama. I did my dissertation, got my doctorate in Final Fantasy XV, and using Final Fantasy XV to teach Judeo-Christian kingship. So I've got degrees in religion, and I love Final Fantasy. I have played every Final Fantasy except for 11. That's my one blind spot, and here we are. Everybody, we're in for a great treat, a great semester. One of the things that I love to do, while I teach Final Fantasy XV and Judeo-Christian kingship at the University of Alabama, all of that started on something like this, a Twitch stream, where we played through Final Fantasy XV and we got into some really, really cool conversations. And I went into Final Fantasy XVI as a huge fan. Tubbs Jerry, thank you for the sub.
Yes,
thank you for the sub. That just took over my entire screen, so I'm gonna like manipulate the alert badge a little bit. You can't tell, things are all kind of out of sorts right now because of transitioning from stream over. But with Final Fantasy XV, I was really excited to play that as a fan, and so when Final Fantasy XVI came out, I was really excited to give it a shot, but I had no idea that it might affect me in the same way that 15 did. Whereas Final Fantasy 15, I believe, follows almost one-to-one the narrative of Judeo-Christian biblical stories of kingship, particularly King David and Saul and others. Final Fantasy 16 is a story of the philosophy of religion. It's a story of dogma, of truth, and reality. And with that, that was kind of the catalyst for diving in to this. So let's see, in the chat, I'd be really keen to see your syllabus for that class. That seems awesome. I would love to share my syllabus with you, and I may take a screenshot of it and post it on Twitter or something like that. It's a blast, absolute blast. Thank you, Dart Hasses 198 for following. Appreciate you. How you doing tonight? All right, well, tonight, one of the things that I do in my streams, especially my lecture streams, let's talk about what a lecture stream is right here at the beginning. A lecture stream is essentially a let's play, but it's a lecture, so it's a lecture play, okay? It's kind of a play on words there. So a lecture play, we're going to have moments of education, of like, hey, here's some interesting things to think about, and then we're going to play the game. Conjugate voices, thank you so much for the follow, appreciate you. And what reading list for that class is, I assume you read 1 Samuel and 15, absolutely, and I can definitely share some of that stuff. So 1 Samuel, really, we go through the entire Hebrew scriptures from Genesis to Malachi in 4 weeks, and then we play the game and continue. So, Nathan Burnham, thanks so much for the sub. You rock. All of you rock. Oh my gosh, every one of you, absolutely amazing. Thank you for hopping in tonight. So let's kick it off. Are we ready? How many of you came from the Resonant Arc podcast? How many of you did that? Talifer, what's up? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. The Bible is your favorite book and Final Fantasy is your favorite series, so you're in the right place. Yeah, baby. Yeah, you are. So we're going to talk Bible. We're also going to talk ancient Near Eastern myths in this YouTube Twitch course. We're going to talk about all kinds of different religions, philosophies, dogmas, but my speciality is in Judeo-Christian religion particularly. I've gotten multiple degrees in the Bible, spent most of my life studying that particular trend and philosophy perspectives. We're going to bring a lot of that in. But I also got to say, I want you to be conversation partners with me. This may very well end up being a college course one day, if not a book, if not some other things. And so we are research partners over the course of this. So I'm aside from podcasts that may delay it, I'm going to try to stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting about 7 Central Time. So tonight notwithstanding. Anyway, tonight we're going to play the prologue. And so before we get into that prologue, before we get into that prologue, I wanted to, oh my goodness, so many of you came from the Resonant Arc stream. Myself figured may as well check this out before bedtime. Hey, well, just like in class, this is a great lecture to sleep to, right? So don't tell my students. Sounds freaking awesome. With the New Testament metric not planned 15.2, starting in chapter 14, it does. I promise you I'm going to do 15 videos eventually, and it'll be like you're in the class. All of us came from Resonant Arc. You guys rock. Truly. Absolutely amazing. Hey, I agree. I feel like we briefly discussed this in a YouTube chat. Yeah. Are spoilers allowed? So, out of respect, be vague with spoilers, because there are going to be people that are watching maybe for the story for the first time. I'm going to be careful with spoilers, but I am going to give some allusion to future events in the game. So be careful with spoilers, is what I would say. We want it to be a good experience. Scholar of existential philosophy, Kierkegaard, Schopenhauer, and Nietzsche. I'm always interested in how games discuss and express these ideas in interesting ways. Yeah, well, you're going to get it. Roll Tide, Professor, ready for the class. Hey, let's get to it. How about it? So I want to start out actually with just a brief primer on this. And I want to ask a question for you right here at the beginning. Sorry, let me get some things ready for us. Nope, we're not ending. We're going to do all of these right here. So tonight, I've got a few questions for us. And really, to get into these questions, we've got to kind of think in terms of some very, very specific vocabulary. So I want to teach us all some vocabulary right off the bat. And right now, I'm really kind of wondering why that slide is showing, but the others are not. So we're going to kind of go into all of this right now. There we go. No? How about this one? Nope, they're all the same. How about that? So this is the problem with having a no prep time beforehand. So let's start with some of this. There's 2 concepts that I want to bring to your mind tonight. There's this idea of icon. There's this idea of dominant. And an icon is simply an image. And so tonight in the prologue, I want us to watch for 2 very specific pieces. There are going to be these huge larger-than-life monsters or gods or these beings. And we're going to be looking at them throughout this entire series as images of the divine. In fact, I think that the game delves into that a lot. So one of the key questions that I'm going to be asking throughout this entire time is, what do each of these stories tell us about? With the icons and what's known as the dominance, and we'll stop and talk about that. What is being said about the divine, what's being said about humanity, and what's being said about the world. We can figure out those things, we can get the core of what Final Fantasy XVI may be trying to teach us. Okay? So, with that, why don't we go ahead and begin? Because this is a lecture play. Gaming grad student, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and do it. Whew. How are we doing tonight, everybody? We good? We are going to be playing on New Game Plus mode. And we are going to be playing on Final Fantasy mode because I have not played on Final Fantasy mode, and it's always fun to struggle through a stream. So, we're going to begin the game following the fall of Phoenix Gate. So do we not play the prologue in Final Fantasy mode? Is that it? Has anybody played Final Fantasy mode? The victory theme is loud. Sorry about that. Hey man, good luck. Oh neat. It'll be cool to see FF mode. I don't want to start the game following the fall of Phoenix Gate. No. Let's do the very beginning. Before the fall. Okay, so that was it. That was it. And it starts as normal. You can skip it. I'm selecting no. Thank you, Talifer. Man, what a fun time. Okay, let's do this.
It was Moss the Chronicler who said that the land of Valisthea is blessed in the light of the Mother Crystals. And that it was this light which finally led our forebears out of the darkness. Yet, what they saw in the light gave rise to temptation. Temptation that ever lures us back into the crystal shadow.
Ooh, that's such a good monologue.
Thus did our journey begin.
Thus did our journey begin. Oh my gosh, if you haven't seen this stuff, this is an amazing scene in this game. Absolutely spectacular. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna hype it up for a second. Let's get some dynamics with the lighting here. Okay, we're evading. Oh, I don't think we evaded very well there. This song may be one of my favorite songs in the entire game. Woo! Oh no! That's hot. That's so good. All right, let's see. Hey, thanks for the sub, Lim.
Thanks, sir.
It'll be light soon. Both camps have begun to stir.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant. No one else. There's a funny man.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Vanny.
How do we even know the girl will be among them?
Our kind do not question orders. We follow them. Try to keep that in mind. Let's get this done.
Hoven, thanks for the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Risa, Shiva. Dastardly, have a great night. Thanks for hopping in. We'll get started earlier next time. Hey, Claymore, I see that you mentioned the lyrics. We're going to talk about the lyrics by the end of the prologue tonight. Don't you worry about that.
Focus, Wyvern. You are key to this mission's success.
Yes, Sergeant.
I said focus, Wyvern.
I'm trying. There we go. Oh man, this is...
We don't have time for this. All hell is about to break loose.
So is hard mode, Final Fantasy mode, really a lot harder than normal?
Time to move.
I've heard that this game is just easy even on hard mode, so... But this is my first time playing Final Fantasy mode.
Just in time.
Not really. Gotcha.
This is going, they won't need this new dominant of theirs. What?
To the gates! Quickly! Move!
What do you mean, you refuse? Did you not pledge your swords to our cause?
Come now.
Soken deserves an award for this.
Marshal,
Absolutely.
The King
The
of
soundtrack
Balloon
is
our
killer.
guest.
This FF has a lot in common with 9. I think you're the only one who sees it. It does have a lot in common with 9.
And you have His Majesty's answer.
I love the way that this game just immediately brings you into the world, right? This political intrigue, it throws you in the deep end.
I wonder that you summoned us at all. Have you so little faith in your own men? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not? Or am I mistaken?
FF12 vibes, nice. Yeah, I agree.
Besides, your dominant has yet to take the field. And when he does, our knights would only get in the way.
Perhaps you have not heard, but the Ironblood now have their own dominant. We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
Should this citadel be allowed to fall, the capital will lie exposed. And I doubt the Crusaders will wait for the good king's pawns to line up before taking to the board. Which, just leaves me.
Hopka!
The Iron Blood will rule the day they set foot on Storm. This game is over.
These characters are incredible. Now, I see Hoven thinks that it lacks a character like Quina. That is bait. I'm not taking that. I don't really care
You
for Quina.
cock.
Benedicta.
Take care.
Does the lion take care when he chases the hare? Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love.
He is a beast
You
of a
are a
dude.
lion. You're my lion.
I'm not afraid of a little frost, Benedicta. But I will need someone to warm me when I come home.
It's as good a time as any to say that this is an M-rated game. Just FYI. If you were not ready for that. Good trans monks.
The front lines are gone. This is our chance.
Ultimisia.
Chaos will conceal us.
What's up, Norel Gaming? Hey, thanks for the resub. 4 months, let's go. What's up, what's up? Sorry, it is so hard to keep up with chat and to focus on what's on screen here. We're gonna do our best though. Do your best, forget the rest. Okay, let's go. Y'all, I just love the environments and everything about this. Oh, I love this game so much. If you came over from the Resident Arc podcast, you heard us talk a lot of critiques. Y'all, end of the day, I love this game. I love it.
And quick and deadly.
As always.
I've been good, Norel.
Take the van.
Clive's call name here being Wyvern. Yeah, we'll talk about all of that in just a second.
Wait. Something's not right.
Listen to this music.
Titan. So the Darmaks finally grew tired of being slaughtered.
And look who's here to greet the bastard.
Hey, thanks David for hopping in. Look forward to seeing you.
Come on.
Have a great night, bud. Thanks. Absolutely epic. Dude Central, what's up? What's up, my dude? Good to see you tonight. Thanks for hopping in. Like, it looks like it's a no contest, right? Between Shiva and Titan. Oh my god.
get to die here, Wyvern. Move!
You want this team to have another shot at the game? Claymore, you know what? I agree with you. I think they did a great job, and I think that if they continued, oh my gosh. What could the next one be? Oh my gosh. Notice up in the sky here? Oh my gosh. All of that just happening in the background while I play. That's some epic gameplay. Oh my goodness. Go, go, go. I'm too busy watching the fight unfold.
Anytime, Wyvern.
We're trying, we're trying. I'm clearly going the wrong way. Okay. I'm trying, I'm really trying. This isn't even the hard part of hard mode. I'm just struggling.
You're just gonna stand there?
Everything's just so epic. Oh my gosh. Feels like a Greek chorus. Yeah, there's a focus on the choir. We love that. Ugh.
Wyvern! Wyvern! I told you before, you do not get to die here.
All right, before we keep going, I wanted to stop for just a second to talk about a couple of things. So that was a massive battle that we just saw, a massive battle between two of these icons that I'm talking about. We've got Shiva and we've got Titan. Now, one of the things that I want us to really consider in this is that these gods or these icons are representative of something bigger. It's representative of a mystery of the divine, okay? And so one of the things that we're going to ask ourselves is anytime there is an appearance of these sort of godlike beings, what's the attribute, what's the adjective, what's the story that we're kind of getting at? This is a story, Final Fantasy XVI is a story that is taking what I would call formative stories or myths, or in a term that we'll learn a little bit later in the game, mythos or mythos, as some say. I use the term mythos, by the way, because of ancient Greek, but you can easily say mythos. Both are technically correct. I suppose that mythos is a little bit more pretentious, so there we go. In any case, we're looking at this idea of what is the mythos that's informing the rest of this game, okay? And so with the story, there's a couple of big pieces that I wanted to look at really quick. And this comes from someone, let me pull up here. This comes from someone named Karen Armstrong. I'm going to pull up this one piece real quick. Let's minimize it a little bit. So it's going to kind of cover up me for a minute. But here's what she says about this. She says that an icon is an image particularly of the divine. And here's what she says. Scripture told us that we had been made in God's image, and it was therefore possible to find an icon within ourselves that, like any Platonic image, yearned towards its archetype. If we looked within, we would discover a triad in our minds in the faculties of memory, understanding, and will or love that gave us an insight into the triune life of God. Now, the reason that I bring this up to us tonight is because this idea of icons that the game is calling these gods, this is, I think that it's an intentional piece or an intentional naming where they are saying there's something about God that's being told through this, or God, or stories of God, religion, all that kind of stuff. And one of the stories that's coming up right here with these battles is there's a divine or sacred war that's kind of happening. I think in terms of ancient Near Eastern mythologies, religions, and even Hebrew mythologies and stories, there are what we call divine wars, where, you know, you'd get the Israelites that would line up on one side, the Philistines or the Canaanites, and they would come with their patron gods and they would fight one another. A great warrior in that grouping or that army would be the priest or the prophet, okay? Or particularly the priest. And they would essentially sacrifice, pray, beseech the divine to fight on their behalf. And so one of the things that we're going to get is this idea of a warrior god, a warrior divine. And that's the world of Final Fantasy XVI, where nations would acquire these dominants or priests in order to help them fight their battles, win their wars, and basically assert their way of life. Okay, so I share that with you tonight because this is kind of the world that we begin in. Warrior priests, God, divine God, battles, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let's keep going, and we will continue. Let's go ahead and delete that, and we're good. Let's get back to it. Armstrong is dope. Have you read Armstrong, Gaming Grad Student?
Clive! Get her, Clive!
Armstrong's incredible. 2 books, The History of God and The Case for God. Something I'm curious, Noctis, you got to show the new setup.
Well, if you're not cut out to be
Yeah,
a shield, there's always work for you in the stables. Unless, of course, you think you can defend your master while sat on your arse in a puddle of pig swill.
I'm sure he'd find a way. My brother always looks after me. Right?
Go on. You're sure to hit him eventually.
Don't give up now.
Oh, look at that Torgal. I love that dog. Something I'm curious about.
2 arms.
Does Final Fantasy, any, not just this one, reference the original deities the icons are based on, like Hinduism, Shiva, or Ifrit from Middle Eastern mythologies? The short answer is not specifically, but yes. We are not going to revisit combat training. So we beat him. But we are going to talk about that once we deep dive into each of these deities.
See? I told you he could do it.
Aye.
Rested at last. It's taken me long enough. That was a display worthy of your father. You are a true shield of the flame, and let no one tell you otherwise.
The allusions to crucifixes on Joshua's outfit? Alright. Just remember that.
What are you lot gawping at? Back to your drills.
Joshua, I was just tired. Phoenix's flames are a gift. You mustn't waste them.
It isn't a waste. My shields look after me. Why shouldn't I?
That's why. You were coughing this morning too.
Did you know that you can buy the ear cuffs that Clive and Joshua have from the Square Enix store?
His grace has returned.
Is this your second playthrough? I'm finally about to beat the game for the first time. It is my second playthrough, Scott. I won't spoil the ending for you, so. This will be a largely
Your Grace, please. This is
spoiler-free
no place for one such as you.
playthrough.
I would gladly brave hell itself to see my darling boy. Gentlemen, Rosaria thanks you for your indefatigable loyalty.
Indefatigable.
Your Grace, we live to serve.
Conjugate, I am playing on Final Fantasy mode, yes.
Joshua. You should not be out of doors. We have discussed this.
I'm sorry.
Good day to you, Mother.
Come, Joshua.
This woman.
Your father will be expecting us.
Ooh, that foreshadowing. Young Clive could easily be a member of Panic at the Disco.
Lord Murdoch.
You're right.
Your Grace.
Annabelle gives good stink eye. Yeah.
What a way to treat your own flesh and blood.
I know. It's not his fault. Not everyone can be born the Phoenix.
We should join them.
Be interested in hearing if New Game Plus is worth it once you've finished. I've done every side quest because I've loved the world and lore so much, but I don't know if a replay would add much. Scott, I'll let you know. I played Diablo 4 after my first playthrough, so it was a nice palate cleanser, and I'm ready to be back. Now my skills may be terrible, so we'll see. Really want another game set in this world like a prequel during the Fallen era, only to see another iteration of all the dominance. Vanny, that's a great idea. That'd be cool. Woo boy. Schrodinger, baby seal, what's up?
Rise, my friend.
Long time no see, friend. It's that late night stream.
Thank you, Joshua. You are well, I trust.
Yes, Father. Much better. Today, Jill and I went to the Bailey to watch Clive's spa.
Is that so?
Quiet, Toggle. Stop it, boy. Not now.
I want to see the iconoclasts.
You'll make a fine hound one day.
Yeah. You getting them.
Father.
Lift up your head, girl.
Thank you, Your Grace.
The capital rejoices at your safe return.
What's up,
Grace.
Resonant Arc, everybody? Resonant Arc is the podcast that
War is
Schrodinger,
coming,
Baby
my
Seal,
boy.
and I were just
You must
on.
make ready.
Thanks for hopping in the chat, you guys.
Is the situation truly so grave?
I don't think iconoclasts were entirely different from the icons, in my opinion.
Your Grace.
You're a beast, man. Thanks for doing that with us. Dude, like, it was so fun. That was such a fun podcast. If any of you did not get to check out that podcast, I hope that you'll go listen to it. All right, Clark, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Toggle.
That alert is a little loud, isn't it?
Where do you think you're going?
Y'all, she's in the other room right now, but I have a
Clive
little
here is off
dog
to see the Archduke.
that looks a lot like Turtle. I'll post pictures of her on Twitter tomorrow or something. Yeah, that was a great podcast to be on.
Is trouble
Mike
brewing?
or Kaysen, whoever's running
I'm
the
not
account
sure.
over there right
I
now.
need to speak with Father.
You guys were so fun to hang out with tonight. So thank you for inviting me.
Preparation is key. We must be ready to march at any time.
We must be.
You don't need to tell this one. She's raring to go.
She's heard this speech before.
She's heard this speech
Make
before.
sure you get a good edge on that, eh?
I know. I'm not about to send our lads off to war with dull blades.
It's been so long since I played this very early part.
Your steed is in fine fettle, my lord. Isn't that right, Ambrosia?
We adore Ambrosia.
All right, let's get this stuff.
The Phoenix will be with us.
The Phoenix will be with us. Hey! Elani, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you so much. Okay, where am I going? I got distracted by chat. Let's run. I see. Ambrosia is love. How long do chocobos live in this world? Longer than you would think. One of my issues with this game is the language. It feels like words are used in a really confused way. Overall, the speakers frequently undermine one another in different scenes.
Forgive me,
What do you
Lord
mean,
Marquis
Conjugate?
Pray, do not concern yourself with this bungling cur. Bow to him, you fool. Did I say to speak?
What I heard was good. Got myself distracted quite a bit, but it led me here, so that's something.
It was no
Exile,
trouble.
glad you're in.
Really?
Oh, do not indulge him. To be allowed to stand in your lordship's presence is more than his kind deserves. Why, neither the Empire nor the Republic treat their bearers half so well. He was lucky to be born in your father's dominion. Very lucky, as I remind him every day.
No.
Stand.
Chocobos.
Please.
Ambrosia does mean food of the gods. Oh.
Start.
Wasn't it?
Trust his good fortune will continue.
Runar is alive. Thank you for the follow.
If that is your lordship's wish.
Don't work too hard. Remember, it is for the good of the duchy that you serve.
So for those of you that have played through Final Fantasy XVI
As
without
do
any
we all,
spoilers or
my
anything,
lord.
I've got a question for you. I'd love
As
for you
do
to
we
sound
all.
off in the chat. I started out this stream by saying that
Come
each of
along
the
now.
icons
Back to your duties.
conveys a different myth or story or attribute of the divine from various religious traditions. So what would you say would be the attribute or the story perhaps of those that we have seen, particularly Shiva and Titan? Anybody got any ideas? There are no wrong answers. We're just kind of spitballing. Fantastic job on the podcast. We as a FF community need more constructive dialogue and series that we love. Hey, thank you, Jordan. I really appreciate that. We're really trying to
Looks like they're getting ready for supper.
have some interesting conversations out there, and I know that
I think someone's hungry.
Mike and Kaysen and certainly Clark and Ryan do that in spades. I'm gearing up for whatever difficulties.
Fine display, my lord.
Or in Final Fantasy mode.
Almost felt sorry for the Lord Commander.
Gaming grad student, am I asking what each icon represents or which mythology they link to? You know, a little bit of both. What I'm actually asking is, because I don't think that these icons are a one-to-one with the mythology that they might be taken from. Like, Ifrit isn't uniquely a djinn, right? But he may convey some sort of attribute. So my question would be, what are the aspects of the divine, of gods from various traditions that each one might be? So Talifer, you say Titan is a being of destruction or a force of destruction. The icon of Earth seems to be a counter to the idea of Mother Nature. That's really interesting. Titan seems to be a pure wrath incarnate. That's really, really interesting. Hey,
Nice and quiet in here.
Forger in the Nile, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Ifrit is a divine rebel, the one who seeks to defy all other gods. Like a Lucifer sort of thing. That's an interesting attribute or parallel. Both Titan and Shiva are represented here as being elevated to some degree. Shiva floats above the rest. Titan literally towers over all of it. Yeah, yep. Shiva gives elegance and refinement, but we don't know the Northern Territory cultures to see if that checks out. Good. Winter or marriage for Shiva, and pro wrestling for Titan. Exalt, that's true. Ifrit is Prometheus, maybe. That's a good idea. That's a good idea, and that certainly plays into the lyrics of Away. Ifrit is the fool, if going by tarot conventions, I'd guess. Now, that's really interesting. We won't talk about Ifrit for several more podcasts or streams, but I want us to hold on to that one. That's a really good idea. Stealing fire from the gods and giving it to the people, or Clive. Good idea, good idea. Shiva, maybe compassion or love. All right, it'll be a little bit before we talk about Shiva more in depth, but that's really good. I missed a few up here. Someone can argue for us that they are not treating them well, but for the world they lived in, it's better than other nations do. Okay. Sorry, I'm catching up on some chat that I missed. No idea where you're going with this, since the different icons don't seem to have backstories in this game. They're just strong magical creatures. Yeah, we're going to really get into that. Are you asking what each icon... Okay, yeah. And now I think I'm caught up. So, everybody, if I miss something,
Joshua.
Feel free to, like, say, hey, answer this or something.
Clive,
Are you worried about the war?
The soldiers will expect the Phoenix to help them, but I don't know if I can.
Don't worry, Joshua. Father will guide you. And I will protect you. Always.
I know. Thank you, Clive.
Shiva portrayed in that scene seems like loneliness. That's good. Also, make sure that you are noticing, somebody in the chat mentioned earlier some of Joshua's wardrobe. Let's see if I can get the camera angled in there. They mentioned the crucifixes around Joshua. This is kind of a low-hanging fruit here, and I think Clark mentioned it in the podcast we were just on. But obviously Joshua is the dominant of the Phoenix, and Joshua is, a variant of Yeshua, which is a variant of Jesus, right? And so you get this idea of Phoenix, rebirth, resurrection, new life, and Jesus all mixed up into there. So I would be surprised if those thoughts of the crucifix or the cross imagery on Joshua was not, at least in some ways, alluding to that. But it could also just be kind of that medieval aesthetic. A couple other things to kind of point out here is notice these bearers. Bearers are essentially magical, quote, slaves. They're oppressed to a different degree, varying degrees across the world of Valisthea. But they have magical powers that this one, for example, does lawn care, right? And they have, they're basically an oppressed people group.
Marquis, forgive my man, you'll be done in a jiffy. Just getting the place tidied up for the big procession.
Claymore Milk, there possibly could be more to it, and we may uncover more of that as we go on. Joshua could also refer to the figure Joshua, the successor to Moses, who led the Israelites into the Promised Land. That's exactly right. And in fact, there is this thought of Jesus and Joshua parallels, of Jesus being the one that ushers humanity into the more spiritual Promised Land, right? Or even into heaven by way of salvation. So that's an interesting piece. Conjugate voices. Sheba is one of the largest differences from its origin. Sheba is originally intended to be male and is formed. Absolutely. When we talk about Shiva in probably a couple of weeks, we will definitely mention those distinctions. Clive Ifrit and Jill Shiva are another play on the trope of red Oni and blue Oni, which are... Okay, first of all, let me just say for a second, you guys came to play tonight. You guys came ready with some mythology, with some religious stories and history, and I absolutely love it. So love this sort of peer review and collaboration. That's what we're all about. My asking for elaboration would be racing to later in the game. Claymore Milk, yeah, absolutely. We will be covering some of that. Stop trying to ruin the Phoenix for me. To add to the logo, Phoenix and Ifrit are positioned with Phoenix in the air, God, rebirth, heaven, and Ifrit is below, devil, fallen, hell. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get into all of that, y'all. Okay, first of all, let me just say. Can I get a close up here? Let me just talk to you real quick. You are a professor's dream. All of you that are in the chat right now, every one of you, you are like participating the way that I dream. When I prepare a lecture, it's like, is the class going to resonate, or are they just going to like pretend to be on their phones or like leave to go to the bathroom a million times? You guys are like in it, and I am all about this. So thank you for your participation. I just had to like look into the camera and thank you, because that is so good. We will continue to discuss all of this stuff. So let's see. My parents actually named me after Joshua from the Bible.
That child is the future of our nation. He must be protected. All other concerns are insignificant.
She is horrible. My dad told me a preacher once told him that his second son would be a leader of men. They had lofty expectations. Wahaha. Oh, man. Maybe you'll be a leader of men. Or, who knows? Maybe you'll walk around a city and its walls will come tumbling down. Never know.
Good luck.
That is adorable. There's no mythology to that. It's just cute. And we love that. Logo dominance, Phoenix, mimic Cain and Abel. That's good, Jordan. Good word, good word.
You commanded my presence, Your Grace. How may I serve you?
All right, you can stop licking my boots. Mother
ended up back in school again. Surprise! Torgal is a hero.
Do the territories fare any better?
Most lie under a pall of black.
Annabella is the worst.
In just these few moons, the Blight has taken nigh on all of the northern reaches. It is only a matter of time before it crosses the border.
I actually don't hate Annabella. Oh, man.
Nearly every available bed in the capital is already occupied by those fleeing the Deadlands. Even if we were to send them south to Port Isolde, more would only follow in their wake. Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Against the Iron Kingdom.
We have traded blows with them for too long. It is time to end it.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath. Without the blessing of the Mother Crystal, we cannot defend our realm from the spread of the Blight.
The Iron Blood will not relinquish it easily. This will be a bitter fight.
We ride for Phoenix Gate tomorrow. There we will listen to the words of our ancestors, as tradition dictates.
Am I to go with you as Joshua's shield?
There is something else I would have you do first. Rodney.
You will have heard the reports, I am sure, of beastmen from the north being sighted within our borders.
Goblins in the Stillwind marshes. I know of the rumors, yes.
Then you know what must be done. I will give you 2 good men. While we ride north tomorrow, you will journey to Stillwind, search it and clear it. Then you will join us at Phoenix Gate.
It is time to prove your strength. And shut your mother up for good.
Annabella is one of those characters that you'd like.
I will do my
hate,
duty,
you know?
Your Grace.
Genova isn't a mother. Well, to Sephiroth she is. I also know he's also
That will be all.
demonic and other
Rest
things.
well. We ride at dawn.
Yes, Your Grace.
Okay, we ride at dawn. Thank you, Elwyn.
We drove the Iron Blood from our shores once before, but their patriarch still dreams of spreading his message to Storm. And when the Crusaders march, They move a damn sight quicker than the Blight ever did.
So we recapture the Mother Crystal, end their ambitions, and secure the duchy.
Only the light of the Phoenix can guide us through these dark days. But that does not mean I'm happy asking this of Joshua. Look after him, won't you?
Even if it costs me my life.
Let's make sure it doesn't come to that.
So this is a really interesting piece as well because, again, you've got the shield of the dominant, the shield of Joshua. And again, I mentioned earlier these sacred warfare narratives. In classic sacral war stories, particularly in the Hebrew and ancient Near Eastern context, you're going to have, like I said, the priest warrior. You're going to have the patron god, and then you're also going to have an item of some sort that is going to represent the divine. So for the Israelites, you would have the Ark of the Covenant, for example, and this was essentially that thing that they would carry out into battle, and it was the control of the it was essentially the representation of the divine, of the god. I think that's really interesting here because each of these nations is protecting a mother crystal, and that mother crystal is a signifier of the power of the gods to some degree. Now that goes into a lot of other things, but I think it's an interesting analogy between, say, like an Asherah pole or the Ark of the Covenant tabernacle and the priest, and then this sacred war theory. Just an interesting little side note there. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get into some combat. I want to see
no messages, my lord.
If we're going to have a hard time with this or not. Can we just appreciate Elwyn for a moment? Good dads are rare in Final Fantasy. Highwind, you're right. Hope Clive and Lightning show up in Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh my gosh.
How long will you be away this time?
Not long.
I hope Annabelle
4 days.
shows up in
maybe 5.
Kingdom Hearts.
And you will be taking Joshua?
Well, I can't exactly leave him behind, can I? The blood of the Rosfields runs in his veins. Before going to war, we perform the rite at Phoenix Gate. It's our way. You know that. And only the dominant can enter the apothecary, so yes, I'm taking Joshua.
Oh, to hell with your way! The boy is ill.
You think I don't know that? But the boy is also the Phoenix. The heir to the throne. You can't keep him in swaddling clothes all of his life.
If Annabella stabbed Donald,
Elwyn.
I'd be okay with it.
Don't worry. Clive will watch over him.
My bias is showing.
Though he is a youth of but 15 years, he's already a fine soldier. He will make a splendid shield.
You see more in him than the Phoenix did. He was rejected, Elwyn. Our household has no place for such a failure. He is worthless, a man like any other.
Sora, watch out.
As am I, my dear.
Nonsense. You are the Archduke of Rosaria.
Oh, not this again. You know as well as I do that I only sit upon the throne because my father was taken before his time. I am merely warming the seat till Joshua comes of age.
You are your father's firstborn son, and you sit upon the throne. All is in its right place.
Down with Donald. Thank you.
Unlike some,
we're starting a resistance
you
movement.
have not disgraced our noble blood.
Without men like Clive to keep us safe, your precious noble blood would long since have graced the gutter. We have an early start. I'm going to sleep.
Denied. Denied.
This is it then. Time to prove yourself.
Wishing on a star?
I'm a little old for that. I should get some sleep.
Right. You're going with them tomorrow, aren't you?
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him. He takes too many risks. I only wish I could save him from himself.
Clive, you...
I have another mission too. Father has given me my first command.
Pay close attention to this scene, class. We only debated it for like an hour in the podcast earlier.
I shall just have to do it for you.
Jill.
There's going to be
is
another
the
war,
embodiment of the
isn't there?
meta mythos. Yeah, we'll see. Or it's just a star.
Since coming here, I've begun to take peace for granted. I assumed the war between our nations would be the last. But it never really ends, does it?
No. The next war will be bigger than
Jill, the prayer warrior. Who would have guessed?
But you'll be alright, won't you, Clive?
The music here
You're
is
a
so
shield of
good.
Rosaria, after all, and blessed by the Phoenix.
Because it's shown during times of rumination and what could be construed as pathos. You know what? You're not wrong there. I mean, that's a great point. And how that, oh man, Clive, how that plays in
It's getting cold.
with these larger
come in.
ideas of a
My
person's
lady.
will and a person's story and
Good night, Clive.
all of that. That's something that we're going to want to explore in future streams. We can do a cluster analysis to figure out the star's meaning, make a map of all the symbols that show up when media appears. Yeah. That would be neat. Gaming grad student, bonus points for you if you come up with that cluster map. I've yet to play KH3, but from my understanding, it's all over. I could be wrong, and we'll find out for myself as I've started the party through from the first KH from your stream. Oh, boy.
Sorry, Ambrosia. I won't be hunting today.
Who knows? KH4 looks interesting, I'll say.
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll do brilliantly.
I'll try.
First playthrough, I shipped Joshua and Jill at the very beginning. First time I played this, I don't know.
Good luck.
In astronomy, a bright red star typically means the star is at the end of its life, the destruction and death of everything that's in its orbit. Nice.
We ride for
That's
Phoenix
interesting.
Gate. May the blessing of the
Metia is
crystals
fallen
go with us. And shield
I'll
of
do
our
DLC.
slave
Oh. Claymore. Oh man, that's a
Grace
tall
the
order.
box.
I'd be into it.
Open the gates!
Open the gates.
Lord Rossfield, allow me. I shall see her safely to Phoenix Gate.
Thank you.
Off topic kind of, but have you ever played a Shin Megami Tensei? Yeah, I have. Persona 5
We're ready to
and
depart,
Persona
my
4.
lord.
But not Shin Megami
May
Tensei.
I say what an honor it is to serve alongside you.
Someone so knowledgeable in religion. It's Biggs and Sir Wade. Hello.
This is to be no mere
Sir
investigation.
Wade.
If there are goblins in Stillwind, they won't leave.
Say what you want. I like to say that
beastmen
Square
are a
Enix
fierce foe. We
put
underestimate
me
them
in this
at our
game
peril.
because they knew I wrote my
today we
dissertation on Final Fantasy XV.
Sir Wade, Sir Tyler,
Sir Wade, baby.
let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
As you command.
To the marshes, then.
Norel, absolutely. Let's chat soon. Have a great night. Thanks for hopping in. Put some respect on that man's name. Yes. Dashboard confessionals. Listen, there's nothing wrong with listening to Dashboard confessionals, and we are a philosophy podcast tonight. Okay, let's go to Stillwind. Okay, this is gonna be my first test. Oh hey, it's Biggs and Wade. It's not Wedge, it's Wade. Forever. And yeah, his name's Tyler, but nobody cares about him. We care about Wade. You have to start talking in a British accent. Oh man, listening to this game
Keep your
enough.
eyes open for those goblins.
Keep your
The
eyes
reports
open for
placed
these
them in this
goblins.
area.
It's all swamps from here.
It's all swamps.
What's your
in
step,
here.
my lord?
And everything
Wade is a
else.
great name for a lifeguard who can't swim. That is that was the name of the duck that had a floaty in the old Garfield cartoons. Wade. Okay, I do wonder why they chose to change the names. I don't know, man. It is baffling. Okay, let's see. Am I
Not
terrible?
exactly the most well-maintained
Clive
path.
is definitely a
But who
hardcore
do you
Linkin
imagine
Park
would
fan.
maintain it? They've all fled from the blight.
I gotta focus. No dying.
It's hard to believe that anyone used to live here. The old village of Stillwind is ahead.
Okay.
Not that there's a lot left of it.
Probably don't. Let me catch up a little bit. Linkin Park fan, nothing wrong with that. Think he preferred Flock of Seagulls. The hair says it all. Nice callback to old Final Fantasy games, starting out against 3 goblins. Thank you, voices. Thank you for believing in me. I believe that your belief may be misplaced, though. We'll see.
With me.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, okay. That was not terrible.
So the reports were true.
We should press on. There may be more ahead.
There may be. Slide through here. Get a potion or whatever it is. Y'all, having played through Diablo 4 since I last played this, I am having
Welcome to Stillwind.
Remember all the controls.
There's more.
There we go. I'm remembering.
Forevermore.
Forevermore.
Stay down.
Paltry test of your skills, my lord.
Okay, okay. Oh, excuse me. Silly me. What did I think of Diablo 4, since we're at the very beginning of 16? I really liked Diablo 4. It was a good palate cleanser for me from the heaviness of 16. Sid's voice actor is Lorath in there, so that was kind of interesting.
Some of them
like
are spell sleeves.
an unexpected DLC. It felt like.
We'll all have our hands full here.
Oh, kill the magic one! Kill the magic one! Oh, you jerk! Wait, didn't they change the targeting buttons in the latest patch? Oh, you jerk. Oh, you jerk. No, you don't. No, you don't. Mm. Oh, I'm not very good.
Down with you!
Okay. You know, hard mode is even harder when you're trying to read chat, respond to chat, and fight these level 43 goblins. Okay. Hope a future update makes the game harder. That's fair. I haven't done the arcade mode. Well, I haven't done any of it in hard mode. Some of the chronolith trials were pretty tough. I thought that was really fun, though. We got the extra difficulty the game needed. Well, thank you for stepping
We
up.
should be nearing the old village square. It might not be a nest of goblins.
It definitely is. That got a bit hairy. The combat does look good, whatever flaws it has. It does look really good, at the very least. Alright, let's do this.
Sneaky sods. We're trapped.
Sneaky
My lord.
sods.
I'm working on it. He's the leader. But we'll have to take care of his followers first.
Care to thin the herd? As if you have to ask.
Ah! There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Dodge. Where's that magic voice? There he is. The goblins share Donald's voice actor. Nice. These goblins sound just like me. 3 a.m. with the first snack. You like that? Relatable.
Shit! He's invited a friend! On your feet, Sir Wade.
Here it comes!
On your feet, Sir Wade.
Founder, that's a swing and a half. Be ready to move when it winds up for another.
You don't have to tell me twice.
There we go. I'm getting into the groove now. Hey! Come on, let's go. Stagger it. Hey, there we go. Okay, let's go, let's go. There we go. Love it. Okay, I feel like I'm doing better than I thought. Better than I thought I would. Oh, well, I... Hey! Bitter Pumpkin, thank you for the follow. Let's go, baby.
You showed them!
Got it. This dumb guy killed me the very first time I played the demo because I was not expecting the jump in difficulty from a regular goblin. Uh-oh. Hard leather armlets. Are those better than what I have? Difficulty is a weird subject for the game. I just want to run into a boss and have to spend some time figuring out how it's different from every other boss. That's pretty rare in 16. That's not wrong. The Prologue trials did that well. Some of the hunts did it really well too.
Before he summons the rest.
Games and religion thing. Let me stop for a second. A wilderness and profane space is typically conceived of as being inhabited by monsters. Ooh. Dragons in the deep ocean. Yeah. Goblins represent the chaos of profane space closing in on the sacred space. Woo! That's good. That is a good point. Great, great, great job. That's what I took away when I saw this fight anyway. Yeah, I'm a goblin too. Goblin. I was in this like philosophical mode and then him goblin a snack. Oh my gosh. You got me. Ah! I love it. Keep the goblin jokes a coming. It's inbreeded, so I guess we can just do that. Wilshie, thanks for the follow. Thanks for hopping in. Oh no! Come on, you can't jump. Yeah, you can. There you go. Parkour. Parkour, parkour. Same. Ah, I love that point about the profane space and the monsters. Ah, that's good, that's good.
This ends now.
That purveyor of chaos to the order. Yeah. I love that. Poor chump.
What's in there?
This is one of my favorite songs in this game.
Morble is not south.
A morble?
Keep clear of its maw, my lord. That thing's breath is worse than its bite.
Dodge, dodge, dodge.
Oh, that reeks. I said stay away from its mouth.
There we go. There we go. Parry. I'm getting better at the parries. Ah! Dang it! I used precision. There we go. Not bad, not bad. Woo! Get back, get back, get back!
Your guess is as good as mine.
Gosh, this fight is so good! Oh. Yes, I know. Cinema. Let's go.
Now! Before it recovers!
Let's go, let's go. Come on. Whoa. Let's go, come on. Did it again. Ugh. Sorry, Chad. I'll catch up after the fight. Not enough. Back it up.
He won't be gone for long.
Let's go.
I cannot fall here.
Cinematic evasion. Let's go. Let's go.
Now for the final push, my lord.
Every time. Come on.
I think we made it angry. I'd rather we made it die.
I'd rather we'd made it die. Let's go, let's go. Almost got it. Ugh. Again, almost. Men, chat's lighten up over there. I've just got fast. I'm gonna be so behind on comments. Come on, right there. Okay, what have I missed, everybody? Okay, Morbold, that's a great Oscar. It's also the Blight pushing the goblins into this new place, and with what we learn later about the origin of the Blight, that seems thematically relevant. Awesome. Yeah, that's a good point, Telefar. Dang, you're good, Professor. Whew. I don't feel good, but I appreciate it. I really am a fan of 16's soundtrack. Yes, same. Conjugate voices, it's great. I really like the battle theme. It is so good. Some big FF8 vibes, too. That's a great point, especially considering the reason the goblins are invading villages is due to them running to escape the dying lands. Yes. Can't remember what they call it in-game. It's also an interesting parallel because the absence of ether and those dying lands represent a lack of blessing from an icon. Yeah. So basically, the goblins are running from a place shunned by God. That's good. That's real good. Love that. Good insight on the icons. In Eliad's theory, the sacred is the source of a reality. A thing is only as real as it is close to the sacred. Given that Valisthea is a world slowly unraveling, it is a world that is slowly being alienated from the sacred. Can't go into much more detail without spoilers. Yes, thank you for watching that. And Claymore, I was watching FF Peasant talk theories about FF7 Rebirth and the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, and I keep thinking, bro, this sounds like 16. Yeah, there's a lot to that. 7 has some major Kabbalistic stuff. Maybe we'll do that once we get to Rebirth. Presence of an icon indicates an abundance of ether, not absence thereof.
My lord.
Thanks. I never thought I'd see it.
Not just goblins in Rosaria, but morbals too.
I'll petition His Grace to send a detachment.
Well, good thing you've got me, Sir Wade.
If we don't stop them here, they'll be at our gates before long.
We should get moving. We don't want to be caught out here after dark.
If we set off now, we can still reach Phoenix Gate before nightfall.
This really is a phenomenal opening to a game, isn't it? Oh. Top tier. And almost all of the trailers focused on this prologue part. I think that's so cool. They really didn't spoil anything. That's good. Okay, the Phoenix Gate. I'm not as hot on FF7 remake trilogy, but excited all the same. Theories and craziness coming out of the lore nuts. Super interesting though. I agree. I'm not really into the 7 theories as some of my colleagues, but I'm getting into it. I have some thoughts, but another time.
Suddenly, thousands of red eyes. No, wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this. His lordship draws his sword. The goblin chief runs off screaming straight down a Morbal's gullet.
You're welcome. Clive's yelling arrow is incredible.
Drink and be merry, boys!
Yeah.
Work on the morrow. Must be gratifying to see your student making such a name for himself.
So gratifying.
The young lord has a bright future ahead of him.
Aye, and one of these nights he may even deign to join us.
Everybody, if you're watching on Twitch, they're about to sing a song. I'm going to try to put the lyrics in the chat for you to see.
Are you unwell?
No, Father. Just a little tired.
Well, it has been a long day.
They all like Clive, don't they?
Aye. Your brother will be a fine shield. We're all very proud of him.
We're all very proud of him.
Father? Why is it that the dominance is always born into our family? It doesn't seem fair.
We cannot live without the blessing of the crystals. And the crystals work their magic through us. You have been blessed, Joshua. Blessed to be a dominant, to wield the power of an eikon. Our family has been chosen to share that power with the people. So that is what we must do.
This is so good, like, these parts.
My friends, louder!
I don't suppose I'll be missed.
Okay, here are there's the lyrics for those of you on Twitch for that song that they just sang. I think it's really Exile, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you.
She'll be wondering where you've got to. So much for you being a fine hound.
So this is where you've been hiding.
What are you doing out here?
I didn't see you at the feast.
Feasts are the only time shields are allowed to take their ease.
Reading a lot about the Leviathan stuff.
never really
I'm
been one for
curious
cakes
if
and
it's
ale.
going to get into the DLC.
It's the vegetables
I'm
I
really,
don't
really
like.
curious. Copied and I will keep them forever. Thank you. You're welcome. Your YouTube chat broke on you? Oh no. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
I hear you slew a marble.
But
all
glad
the
you're
men
here,
were
Axel.
singing your praises.
They never used to. When I joined the ranks, everyone thought I was a spoiled little lordling. If I didn't know how to handle a sword, I'd be a laughingstock. The Archduke's firstborn failure. You're the one they really believe in. I'm jealous.
That's not true. They don't believe in me. They believe in the power of the dominant.
My brother the Phoenix, ruler over life and death.
It isn't fair. It should have been you. I don't have what it takes to lead our people. I don't have the strength. But you do.
Every man has his duty. Ours was decided long ago.
Did Metia
when our
show up in this
ancestors
scene?
chose to instate the dominant as
There
the
she is.
Archduke of Rosaria. All to ensure that whenever our nation stood on a precipice, the Phoenix would rise from the flames to drag us back from the brink. The fate of Rosaria sits on the dominant's shoulders. It is your duty to bear that burden.
What about you?
I was born to be your shield. That is why I was given the Phoenix's blessing. To keep our future rulers safe. No matter what. However hard it gets. I'll never let you down.
Thank you, Clive. I know you'll always take care of me.
Before I can do that, you need to take care of yourself. All right?
I should go inside. It's past my bedtime. Good night, Torgal.
Bless that sweet boy. I was born to be your shield is an interesting line. It is, isn't it? Oh, bless that dog. Oh my gosh. They nailed the puppy aesthetic. That's so good. Hey, before we go any further, I do want to pick up on a couple things. Conjugate Voices, you say, I really think that people don't pay enough attention to Joshua in this segment. I also think the game should do more to let you. So much of Joshua's actions for the rest of the game would make sense if we had the chance to see more events through his eyes. I think that's a really, really interesting point. And Joshua kind of feeling on the out, not enough, all that kind of stuff. But then also listening to this legacy of the Phoenix that's gone through the line and how it skips Clive and goes to Joshua. I think this is a really, really interesting piece. Similar to the question that we were asking earlier about Shiva and Titan, my curiosity would be, what would you say is the adjective denoted in the Phoenix and in the dominant of the Phoenix, Joshua here? You know, we talk about this idea, this attribute of rebirth or life or hope, but I'm curious what you would say if every icon is a telling of some story or attribute of the divine, what would you say is that attribute at play here? Legacy, that's a good one. That scene was magical, and that's another thing about the presence of Metia. Yeah, the Metia does have to do with magic. And I think there's also something to do with this idea of prayer, wishing upon a star, and magic that kind of comes into play. We'll talk more about Metia in the streams to follow. Okay, post your comments and stuff. We'll get to them and stuff. All right, let's go.
Supplies from the capital.
Metia is related to scenes about hoping for a better future. Again, praying. That is praying
You
in a
took
way,
your
right?
time sampling the wares, were you?
My thoughts include things that haven't come yet. Good. Exile. Good.
It's a good job the North is full of enterprising traders keen to keep us in wine.
Spare a barrel for you boys on duty, eh?
What in the... Ah.
Rip guard. Yes, when people fantasize a fantasy, a Final Fantasy XVI. Rip.
Gateway secured, Captain.
We proceed as planned.
Joshua wardrobe change. Not enough said about alternate costumes. Phoenix to be is kind of just the embodiment of light or hope, life, things like that. Basically the representation of all that is good. Okay. I'm down with that. We're gonna kind of keep a running tally of all of the adjectives that are denoted in all the gods or the icons, as well as the dominance, because the dominant stories also coincide with that a bit, which is kind of cool. The owners. Thank you for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the chat.
Forgive me, my prince. It's me, Wade.
Nightmare, thanks for the follow.
What is it?
Without saying
We're
more,
under
I don't think
attack.
Clive was
I
outright
don't know who they
rejected
are,
by
but
the Phoenix.
they've set light to half
We'll
the
see.
castle. I must get you to safety, Your Highness.
Very well. I'm ready.
Follow me, Your Highness.
Follow me, boy. Okay, one of the most peculiar parts of the game, right here, playing as Joshua. Like, what?
Are the enemy already inside the castle?
I'm afraid so, Your Highness. We must hurry.
And we're tired. Ah, man. I kind of want to just soak up these moments where I can play as Joshua, right? It's convinced you that one of the DLCs is centered around Joshua. Oh, it has to be, right? You haven't seen any of this?
What was that?
I have to help them.
We must help them.
Everything's on fire.
Fall back, Your Highness! He's not one of us!
Sweet, sweet boy.
No, I must do my duty.
I must do my duty. We're not quite as agile as Clive.
Must remain vigilant, Your...
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, I want to know what the developers have to say about this part.
This is Sambra Quargarb. But why would the Empire?
We must find my father.
The concept of acceptance by icons is one of the most interesting parts of this game, and it really deserves contemplation. What do you mean about acceptance by icons? Like who it chooses? Like in the lineage line? Is that what you're talking about? The concept of only one icon of each existing is also an interesting concept considering what we learn of their nature. Yeah, that's also fair. This game posed many questions and gave us some answers. Get up, Joshua. Get him. Wait.
Damn it, the bastards are everywhere.
Why would the Empire do this? They're our allies.
Were our allies. Okay, I want to read some of these comments before we get into any further. In all seriousness, the divine attribute I think Joshua represents is immortality. This is a pretty key distinction between the gods and mortals. Mortals die, gods don't. At the very least, they don't die in the traditional sense. I wonder if you're going to say that each of the icons represent an individual divine attribute. So in my work in Final Fantasy XV, the gods, I think, did correspond with a specific attribute. And I'm curious if that's going to happen with 16 as well. In one playthrough and then myriad rewatchings, I have some ideas about that, but I'm really curious about what we can come up with together. With Phoenix specifically, and under the context of what it represents to Rosaria and its history, I feel that the role its flames represent are important as well. Phoenix, flames of creation; Ifrit, flames of destruction. Oh, that's good. Especially since Ifrit in this world is considered an abomination. Gosh, that's good. Forger in the Nile. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that dichotomy is going to be a really interesting thing for us to talk about. I don't really remember being accepted by icons being a thing outside of the minor tidbit with Clive and the Phoenix. Well, you get the Elwyn thing, how he wasn't chosen by the Phoenix in lieu of his father, I guess. I think it's what it was. And I can't remember any stuff with kind of the Empire, Sambrek, and others. What's interesting to me is that the Phoenix chose a boy who is seemingly frail and sick over one that's to be a warrior. Now that's interesting, isn't it? I also don't think everything needs an answer. It's okay for some things to be just the way they are for the experience. You know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And part of our task is, what do we make meaning of, and what just is a story trope? If there is meaning, I'd love to extract it. And sometimes there just isn't. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, you know what I'm saying? Does an icon accept a person, or does a person accept an icon? Ooh, boy. Neither. Even does the resulting entity make their own choices? It's really a complicated question. I think so. The rest of my thoughts pertain to things yet to come. Boy, that's going to be the theme of this stream, isn't it? Pertain to things yet to come. I suspect your thesis is correct, but I can't say more without spoilers. Unfortunately, I must go to bed. Good night, gaming grad students. Thank you for your work tonight, your help. See you soon, hopefully. We are in agreement. It's going to be hard to talk about things without spoilers. All in due time, my friends. That's why we smash that follow button, and we're going to be back for future streams, right? So that we can talk spoilers in the appropriate times. Oh gosh, I went back the way I came. That is not right. The acceptance of the Phoenix is specifically a cultural artifact of Rosaria. It doesn't pertain to other nations, or at least that's how I see it, yeah. Yeah, it does seem to have some sort of lineage, doesn't it?
Tyler!
I don't think we need to know if the icons really choose their dominance, but if they do, well, I would reserve that for spoilers.
Damn it!
But I would say it
His
has
wounds
to be
are
related to each crystal.
I can save him.
I'm actually angry about this part of the demo.
Your Highness,
What about it?
Don't worry. You're going to be all right.
Oh, Joshua. Sweet, sweet summer child.
I'll hold them off.
For the rest of the game, we don't play as Joshua, but the demo teases that we might. Isn't that the truth?
Joshua! Come here. Tyler, you're hurt.
Tyler.
He'll survive, thanks to His Highness. Your Grace, Lord Murdoch.
Size and spoiler.
Well done, Sir Wade.
I'm in your debt, soldier.
Thank you, Your Grace.
We cannot stay here.
I just
We
never
should make straight
dreamed
for the
that
Great
there would
Gate.
be a character named Wade in a Final Fantasy. It's such an obscure name. Like, at least when I was growing up, it was. It's nice to be seen, you know? We all want to be seen.
Omnia lost Aslan, Tuisa Gelif.
When y'all were going through this the first time,
Speed you to Rosaria.
did you do active time lore? And if so, did you do it during cutscenes or out of it? The protagonist is Clive. I think
North Gate's up
names
ahead.
on the table for
There are chocobos
any
in the
names.
stables.
Yeah.
Father, take Joshua and get to safety.
I love that you're in the game, but I do wish
I'm
Biggs
not
and
going
Wedge had
without
a voice.
you.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be my shield, remember?
During cutscene, I started in cutscene, then I went.
I remember.
Outside.
Which is why I'm going to hold the enemy here while you make your escape.
I will order our remaining forces to rally at the gate. Now go.
I will do my duty. You must do your duty too.
The
I know.
You have to keep Father safe. I'm counting on you, Joshua.
Oh, that's so good. Just how did they just nail this so much? Like, gosh, these scenes are so good. Ben Starr is like incredible. Can I tell y'all a stupid humble brag real quick? Are you gonna like hate me forever if I do this? I don't want to be that guy or anything, but like I've got a story that I just kind of want to share, and it's like insane. Okay, you can hate me forever. That's fine. Block me. So I got to go to the Final Fantasy XVI launch party, right, in LA, and Ben Starr was there at one of the things, and so I go up to him and I like introduce myself, right, and I started out. I was like, "Hey, my name's Wade, and on Twitter I'm ProfNoctis, and I was about to talk about, you know, basically who I am and stuff, and he stopped me and he said, "Oh, ProfNoctis. No, I know who you are. You teach Final Fantasy at the University of Alabama. I've heard of you." I was like, y'all, this was a moment that I had to muster every bit of manhood in me that I did not fangirl out of my own skin. It was like the craziest moment. I was like, how do you know little me? But apparently Elon hyped up my stuff. So thank you, Elon. Thank you, Twitter. I guess that's where it was. It was the craziest thing. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, it was an amazing time. So anyway, that's my humble brag. I was like, little me? Like, little old me? I just teach college students. Badly. Okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, back to this. Back to this. Oh, I forgot that, Lord Murdoch is, with me here. I never really counted him as an NPC, but like, or a party member, but I guess he is. Does he get an icon in here? Like a little, yeah, he gets an avatar. He's an actual party member. Look at that.
Everyone's dead.
Okay, where am I going? Let's go.
Damn it all.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be the first test for me. This Dragoon fight. Ah!
Captain!
A 16-pixel demake? Oh my gosh, yeah. Every interview with Ben reveals that he loves watching people play games in general. I hope he even gets roles in the future. He's always hyping up different games. Listen, he is a treasure. An international treasure. I just realized that I may have to have a notebook for these streams. Exile, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
You take care of that spellcaster.
Honest to God, like, that's the kind of merch that I need to do. Like, I need to do, like, specific ProfNoctis lecture notebooks. Who needs t-shirts, right? We need... You know what? I'm going to get on that. Like, that's something easy that I could do. Basic lecture play notebook. That'd be kind of cool, right? Can we go through there?
That's them done. Are you all right?
Yeah.
I'm fine. It's my father and Joshua I'm worried about. We should head back.
Oh, that scene is so good.
Clive, look out!
Clive, look out! Did y'all see Ben on the Kinda Funny Gamescast like the week that 16 came out?
By the Phoenix.
He was so good on there. He was so funny.
That it will save you.
Stay still, damn you!
Stay still! Oh, sure. Let's go, baby. Love the Kane reference. Yeah, it's so good. See, that's what I was talking about in the podcast earlier. Like, this is such a Final Fantasy game, you know? Like, so many callbacks and stuff without being, like, derivative. CB3 does love Final Fantasy IV a lot, which is a-okay by me because I adore Final Fantasy IV. Final Fantasy IV was my first Final Fantasy that I beat. Some of you may know the story that I learned to read sitting in my dad's lap, playing Final Fantasy IV. Go, baby.
You're going to regret that, boy.
You're gonna regret that, boy. Nice try, baby. Not quite. Not quite. Boom. Nice try. Back. Heck yeah, let's go. Ow! Almost got him, come on. Ooh, not yet. Now we got him.
To Sunbreak.
So good. Okay, let's see. Where was it? Yes, it really is as they should. You have a podcast? I don't have a podcast. I am the editor-in-chief of a website called the-pixels.com where we do a lot of retro reviews. And I have this stream and I do a YouTube channel, but I don't have a podcast. I was on the Resonant Arc podcast a little bit earlier. This game pays more homage to FF than any other previous FF mainline game. It really does. 14 notwithstanding, I suppose, or withstanding. This game has Final Fantasy all over it, so it's crazy to me that it's all reductive to it's not turn-based. Yeah, people love turn-based, and I get that it's kind of like, it hurts that this is not a turn-based genre or a franchise anymore, but it's changed genres. There's no denying that. It's still a Final Fantasy game, but the character action game instead of an RPG. Yeah, the RPG elements are really, really light here. When I was first playing through this game, pretty much all I could think about was it's a love letter to the series. Love letters to the series is a great idea, even if they shunned Toneberry. Yeah, really bad gamer Toneberry. Rip. Personally, I find the lack of conversation around tactics really strange. Yeah, there could be more. I guess it's if it gets a remake. I mean, I love turn-based too, but I would never say it's not Final Fantasy. Yeah, you can tell this game was made by people who grew up loving Final Fantasy. You're absolutely right there. Yote.
Are you hurt? I'm fine.
For this next part, everybody.
So, they sent in the Dragoons. Imperial Vipers. Do they really mean to invade us?
Not yet. Their numbers were too few. They were not here to take the castle.
Yote's full name is Yote Tunberry. Oh god, that'd be hilarious.
Our work is done. We should return to my father.
My lord, look. We issued these sashes but yesterday in Rosaria.
Oh, somebody has subscribed. Thank you. Is that
Father and Joshua are in
Vigo
danger.
or
we must hurry.
FLGO?
Take your steed.
Thanks for the sub. Appreciate you. Oh, you guys, this is it. This is good.
What is that?
All right, so before we go into the next...
Oh, you're all right. Thank goodness.
Forger in the Nile. Good.
Your
Good
Grace,
notice.
is everyone
That's good.
safe?
For the moment. We ride for Rosaria to rally our forces. I will need your help to see Joshua safely back to the capital. On you get, Joshua.
I'm going to post the lyrics to this next song here.
Father?
I'm sorry,
you're
Your
in
Grace,
Twitch,
but
that
that won't be possible.
You honorless snakes!
Stay back! I'm warning you!
Run, Joshua, run!
No!
Jeez. No, you're okay, Claymore.
Traitors! Your Highness!
You must do your duty too. Joshua. Oh, fuck.
Kill him! Now!
This part is so hype. I love it. Let's do some crazy lights for this one.
Phoenix.
There we go.
The Phoenix!
Joshua! On Murdoch! His Highness! Joshua! Stop this! He's lost control. I have to do something. I have to save him.
No, my lord! Fall back! Clive!
Oh, best bird. Oh, Ambrosia.
Thank you, girl. You saved my life. Get her on her feet and run. Please. Joshua.
Ambrosia.
Pain.
Not now. Come on! You're his shield. Do your duty.
Do your duty.
Save him. My lord? What in the name of...
Oh man, this part rules! Oh, it's so good.
Second icon of fire. But that's impossible.
Okay, before we get any further, I do want us to look at these lyrics for the song that's about to play, right? So I put them in the chat a little bit higher, but I can actually swap over, and I think that I've got these here. No, I don't. I actually don't. My bad. Ah, man, I had it earlier, but anyway, it's in the chat. So the lyrics of this song, really, really fascinating. O Prometheus, Epimetheus, hollows out your noble name. O Prometheus, Epimetheus, clamors for your stolen flame. So I think somebody already mentioned the myth of Prometheus, but Prometheus and Epimetheus are brothers, kind of flip sides of this coin, where Prometheus is more about foresight and Epimetheus is about hindsight. And one of the without going fully into the myth, Prometheus is giving fire to humanity. There's this idea of progression of humanity. What's really interesting here is this idea of Epimetheus as having a look backwards, a regret of sorts. And it goes, we can talk a lot more about this, but it's the difference in foresight and hindsight. And I think that's such an interesting piece for these two characters, Clive and Joshua, especially because Clive is kind of looking back on this moment in a degree of regret, a degree of hindsight, a degree of wrath, right? And such an interesting thing. So anyway, I feel free to read the lyrics as we go through this ridiculous portion of this game, because it's an amazing fight, and if you can focus on the music, then go for it, but most people can't. So okay, let's go. And I've got the lights set up, so we're really gonna blow it up here. Let's see this. Let's do this. He's also berserk and animalistic. Okay, I can't read it. I was trying to read it. I'm not going to be able to read it. I'll kill you, icon. Ugh. Woo! That's good.
I'll kill you! Icon?
I'll kill you, icon.
This cannot be!
Yeah, that's a great line, isn't it, Highwind? Enough!
Is this the repository?
The repository?
He's destroying everything!
Destroying everything. I mean, the spectacle is just so good here.
I have to save them!
Okay, that was some good stuff right there. Can we stop for just a second? We got to go back. We got to go back to the lyrics, because that's so stinking good, right? So I want to hit that one part. Some of you have already picked up on some of this stuff, but when it starts with circled in the strife of an imperial catastrophe. Let me pull that up because I think that it missed some of it here. Yes. Pull this up, pop this over in chat. Sorry. That way we're not scrolling. Look at this, look at this. Circled in the strife of an imperial catastrophe, tongues of fire incandescent, oaths decry, shadows in the night, a swirling cyclone in the sky, look down to the nether, bid farewell forever, throw open your wings and fly. Oh my gosh, you guys, so listen. This idea, like, people, most of you have already played through this game. I'm just going to go ahead and say something that if you've played Final Fantasy before, you probably know that this is coming. But Final Fantasy games oftentimes have you fighting some sort of divine being, and it's a struggle with the heavens or this divine mystery. Right here in these lyrics, it tells us what this game is about, right? It's not Game of Thrones. It's not this political intrigue. This is circled in the strife of a imperial or divine, heavenly catastrophe. Something has gone wrong in the heavens among the pantheon of gods or the Godhead or God or whatever. There's something in the heavens that is awry. Okay, and so tongues of fire, incandescent, oaths decry, right? And these fires are fighting against one another. I think it's absolutely incredible. Shadows in the night, a swirling cyclone in the sky. Look down to the nether. Look down to the nether, the depths, right? Even death, if we begin to think in terms of nether world. Bid farewell forever, throw open your wings and fly away. My goodness, my goodness. Now, the first time we hear that, there's actually a little bit of a different, a lyrical piece. And so that part repeats twice in the song. And so I'm sorry to go in deep on these lyrics, but I think they're so key to understanding this game, and particularly this strife, this catastrophe between these two icons. Circling the strife of an imperial catastrophe, whirls of ire fan infernal flames on high. Whirls of ire, right? Fire in the night, a scarlet beacon in the sky, look up to the heaven, the firmament reddens, throw open your wings and fly. So this is a story of heaven and hell, of life and death, of opposites. This is a story of disparate parts being made whole. And I think that is maybe my key thesis in all of Final Fantasy XVI, that the icons and the dominants each represent an incomplete, sometimes contradictory part of the religious mythos of belief systems. And that together there is good, there is bad, but together there is a completion that can take place. We're going to see these icons, these dominants, come into conflict with one another. And it's a struggle, not just of nations, but it's a struggle for the attributes of the divine that have been told through all these myths and stuff. So interesting stuff. One thing I want in the book, but I know likely will not be, is a segment with Soken and his team talking about the music theories in the lyrics and how they use those things to help shape the scenes as well. It's a thing that constantly done in 14. Yeah. We will go deep into these lyrics, but Away is so good. Anyway, let's continue, right? Thank you for humoring me a little bit in that stuff. Cannot see. Oh, precision dog.
To my brother. And I mean to keep it.
That was a very slow cinematic strike. Oops. Awakening! Oh gosh. Did I die? You can die there? I didn't know you could die there. I was focused on chat, you guys. That's not a real death. Are you kidding me? What? Boo. I didn't know you could die there. Wow. Okay, we're gonna get him this time. Chat, we're too awesome. Yeah, for real. Okay, no more damnation. Okay, I got him. Same cutscene, but you know, whatever. Literally the same thing. They shall never die. So, let's see. I would posit that this is a story of creation and destruction, and I think my perspective aligns with that idea. I think you may be onto something. There's something really cool about that, and we'll certainly talk more about it in future sessions. This is all interesting. Pity it's all in a language. So it is in English, but it is choral English, which sometimes sounds very distant, I guess. So they are speaking in English. Yeah, having listened to this soundtrack endlessly during every workout for the last month and a half or 2 months. Yeah, vivid image of what Phoenix and Ifrit represent, rebirth and damnation. Feel like fear is just as important of a thing as suffering is in all of 16. And yeah, and we're caught up. Awesome. Bid farewell forever. Can I say that I hate the language used? Oh, hang on. I'm not going to watch chat during this.
No! Stop it! Take your hands off my brother!
Help me! Help me, Clive!
Joshua! Stop it! Stop it! I swore I would protect him! Please! Please! Stop it!
Ah! This part is so brutal. Gosh.
fucking kill you!
Oh. Yeah, my smart lighting back here. Yeah.
Please.
Quite a mess that monster made. Damn shame about the Phoenix, but can't be helped. Oh, my condolences, Your Grace. Is there aught we can do?
Haven't you done enough, Captain? Joshua was my world, and now he is gone. I can only pray there will be a place for me in the world his radiance seeks to create.
I see.
Miss Raker, what's up? Welcome. Thank you for the raid, miss.
Your Grace, over here.
Came at quite a time. What's good, Mist? How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming in, everybody.
The rubble must have protected him
We've
from the
been
worst
through a
of the flames.
journey.
Shall we take him prisoner?
You've not played 16
No need for
before.
that. Kill him. Wait. As my husband never tired of telling me,
We're gonna finish this cutscene.
he is a
real
fine
quick.
soldier. I'm sure he would make an excellent addition to the
Oh, we
Imperial
hate her.
Front.
Oh, I love to hate her, but oh, I hate her.
All in its right place.
Nice Stein flex. Oh.
Take this one. Chin up, lad. You're going to be a soldier.
Oh, jeez.
Joshua.
Woo! That prologue's good every time I play it. Oh, I love it. I freaking love it. Okay, hey, what's up, everybody? So glad that you came in for the with the raid tonight. We're gonna find a stopping place because we our goal was to finish the prologue tonight. Mist, how was the stream tonight? What were you playing? Okay, I think that I can stop here. The title drop is in the perfect place. Oh my gosh, so good. That whole thing is just so fire.
Sorry. What's our situation?
Okay, let's go ahead and kind of quit there, and I'll deal with saving in a minute. Yes, so there we go with the end of the prologue tonight. Everybody, this is messing around in Baldur's Gate 3. Oh my gosh, a bunch of zombies. So Baldur's Gate 3, worth the hype? Is that it? Is it good? I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. I've been occupied with 16 and Diablo, right? So, yes, it is. It's worth it. Okay. I hear you. Everybody says it's amazing, so I got to give it a shot at some point, maybe. But, I mean, just such a banger year of games. So, man. Unfortunately, it's on the backlog, especially since the semester started. So, everybody, we've talked about a ton of stuff tonight. This idea of icons and dominance. We talked about sacred warfare, divine warfare among gods and nations. And ultimately, one of the things that that I've really wanted to convey is this idea that icons are representations of divine attributes. And so we are going to, it is our task over the course of the semester to think in terms of what attributes that we know regarding God or divine behavior, whether it's from Judeo-Christian religion Hindu, Islam, any sort of like anything spiritual, I would say, Eastern religions, Aztec religions, when we're thinking in terms of the divine, what attributes? Because I actually think that in most religious mythos, there is going to be some commonalities, at least regarding the personalities of the gods. Things like wrath and justice and righteousness, compassion, creation, provision, things like that. And so our task is, we've got all of these icons. How does that reflect the stories that are told in real world religions? And that is going to help us kind of think through. So today was really just introducing us to this whole world of icons and dominance, priests, and the divine aspects. We also talked about a little bit of dogma of the people of Rosaria, and the idea that bearers are kind of less than, and we're talking about this idea of religion or society as being oppressive to some degree of those. So that's going to be an interesting conversation. A couple of things about me before we go. So the question is how 16 reflects real world dogma. Yeah, that's a great way of thinking about it. And not just dogma, because I hold a few different things. And we're going to really get into this when we start talking about myth and mythos and all that kind of stuff. But I have this tendency when I'm teaching students about religion, specifically about Christianity and different sects of Christianity and Christian thought, I always say to them that we value truth greater than fact, and we value data over dogma. So truth is greater than fact, and data is regarded higher than dogma. At least that's the way that I operate in my class. So it's okay if you went to like a Southern Baptist church growing up and all that kind of stuff, and there's a specific dogma that goes along with that, but we are going to highlight data, and we're going to talk about myth regardless of the factual historicity and actuality of it. And we are going to make it a really interesting piece of extracting truth from these myths. The reason that I talk about this is because a lot of times, especially when I'm talking to the Bible Belt Christians at the University of Alabama and surrounding areas, they get really hung up on this idea of the mythos or the stories of their particular tradition being the, quote, gospel truth. And by truth, I mean it is factually, literally, historically accurate. But when we start thinking deeply and critically about some things, well, that's going to rub against some of that. So that's why I say to my classes, we regard truth is greater than fact, and we hold data is over dogma. And so those are kind of the tensions that we live in. And how does that reckon with the real world implications? So, yeah, Miss Raker, you and the people that came over from your stream, holy smokes, you came in at a wild time as we are really getting into some of this stuff. But this is the preamble to this entire course. Interpretation of Scripture is such a touchy subject here in the South. Boy, oh boy, don't you know it. And let me tell you, that's my world at the University of Alabama. It is... just to let you know a little bit about me, I am a religious person. I have been in the Judeo-Christian tradition for the majority of my life, particularly Christianity. I fell in love with a lot of the Jewish stories, the Hebrew scriptures. In fact, the majority of my dissertation was on the Christian Old Testament or Hebrew stories, particularly of kingship. So I have an incredible love and resonance with those. Son of a preacher here. Yeah, absolutely. So I do come from a place of subjectivity, but also a place where I've had to reckon with that tension. So you're going to get some real reckoning from me, okay? Some deconstruction and some reconstruction, ways that I've kind of worked through these things. One thing that I'm not going to do, I'm not going to try to convince anyone of anything, but I am going to help us think in terms of a academic understanding of philosophy of religion, and what do we do with that, especially as it relates to mythos and logos, which I think is going to be absolutely amazing once we get to that. So some really good stuff there. Folks, this has been fun tonight. You guys have been incredible. I was a little nervous about hopping in here immediately after the Resonant Arc podcast, because I mean, shoot, have I been on this thing for like 5 hours at this point? 6 hours? Good grief. But y'all have made it fly by. If you haven't, listen, Mistraker, as soon as mythos came up, I was like, are they gonna logos this? Are they gonna logos this? Holy smokes. That was absolutely amazing. This isn't your conversation. Exile, my hope is that it would be accessible to some way, even if regardless of religious or not religious or whatever. I think that the practicality of what I'm talking about is kind of a universal piece. We may not have belief systems that align with a particular religion or something like that, but all of us have formative stories, I think, that help us understand the world around us. And this is the element of philosophy of religion and philosophy in general, life perspective. So hopefully there's going to be something for everybody here. Anyway, that's kind of my thing. Folks, so many of you I've just met tonight, and you guys rock. Like y'all have been so fun tonight. An active chat, tons of ideas. And let me also say, like, this stuff, I'm taking notes after the stream, even though it's like 12:30 where I live. I'm taking notes after the stream, and my hope is that we're going to build this into a bigger project, whether it is a book maybe, or a series of YouTube videos that are curated, all that kind of stuff. Forgot to mention, Prof, I'm Josh over on Twitter. Yeah, I thought that was you. Super happy to have been able to tune into the first stream. Man, that's so great. You guys have absolutely been amazing tonight. Well, I'm not going to keep you up any longer. I hope that you have a fantastic, what is it now? Is it Wednesday? Gosh, I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday. Whatever you do, be safe. Will this intersect at all with Gamelogica? Gamelogica is a component of the-pixels.com, where I'm editor-in-chief. It may in some ways, but it's not. This is a different lane than what Red is doing over there. So there is that. Have a great night. As someone that comes from the animation industry, I find talks like this fascinating. It goes hand in hand with developing characters and understanding how they tick. Yeah. That's absolutely it. My hope is that at the very least, you're going to appreciate the narrative of this game even more. With that, everybody, y'all have a great night. You have made my night, so thank you. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you do all that stuff. And let's keep in touch, everybody. Y'all have a great night. So long. Goodbye. Last one. My education broke mythos into pathos and ethos. Oh, yeah. Okay. Conjugate. We need that help next time. Okay. For real. Bye. Goodbye, everybody.